What is up, people? Half Slab Bacon back with another episode in Bacon's World. So, guys, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, I actually just looked it up on YouTube. Well, I looked it up a while ago because this is take two of this because feelings and thoughts on feelings, they're hard, especially for me. I did look it up, though, and it's been about a month, guys, since I've put a Bacon's World up. I'm sorry. I know some of you had thought it was because maybe I was, burning out on Minecraft, or quitting Minecraft, or maybe frustrated with YouTube and quitting YouTube and that kind of stuff. By the way, try and do this and talk at the same time. It's not easy. Just so you know. Yeah. It's not hard, or not easy. You know what's even harder? Try to do it backwards, and don't let your fingers go backwards. Yeah, definitely not the case, guys. I still want to create for YouTube. I'm not frustrated with Minecraft. It was extenuating circumstances. So for all of you, I apologize. I didn't communicate it. There's reasons for that too. Kind of a long-winded explanation, but I owe it to you. So we're just gonna kind of have a chat today, and let's start by drowning, shall we? Let's start actually. I'd even turned the YouTube music, or the Minecraft musics back on, so that might play. And I was kind of hoping for like a ceremonious intro with some Minecraft music playing, because I used to do that all the time. Some of you know that. Run the music in the background, and it's been a long time. I shut it off a while ago, mainly because it's too hard to edit around, not because I have a problem playing it. I still like listening to it. Actually, let's check and make sure. Is it on? See? I turned it back on, guys. Yeah, so where to begin? Well, I guess I should begin by apologizing, guys. Once again, that's the back of my head. I'm sorry. Yeah, definitely not an issue with although YouTube's having all its own issues. That's a topic for a live stream or something later. We'll summarize today. Yeah, we'll summarize. We'll touch on that point, and that'll be it. That's it. Yeah. It was mostly life, and I didn't know how to kind of come across and explain it to all you guys. See this hole that's dug? That was me trying to explain it in a video. And then I watched the video back, and it was like, God, if I say one more time in that video, yes, I might just have to kill my own face. Which one we got? Silk Touch. No, I don't want Silk Touch. We need the cobble. Like, badly need the cobble right now. So, yeah. Last time I tried to update you guys on kind of what was going on professionally and the like, I had mentioned that things were looking up. I had possibly found a good job, and I was just waiting on some security clearances I had to acquire for said job, etc., and all would be happy and merry and lovely. Well, how do I put this short and sweet? I put out for the security clearance, but where I live, and the level of security clearance required, for any of you new peeps, I live in Canada, by the way. Shouldn't have done that yet. Let's go this way. And you guys, stop bouncing in my way. Yeah. So, I live in Canada. So those types of security clearances in my lovely country here go through the RCMP. For those of you that don't know what the RCMP is, I am going to use America as my comparison because, I mean, let's be honest, Everybody knows about the military slash police slash government structure of the United States of America, because how many movies has it been the subject of, or at least been a feature of, right? I mean, we all know the NSA, CIA, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, we do. I'm doing better this time. Feelings are less hard with practice. So that kind of security clearance goes through the RCMP in Canada, which is an abbreviation or acronym. Which one's which? Which one has the periods? I don't know. Let's not get hung up on periods. Let's just... Anyways, RCMP, yeah, they handle this stuff, okay? That's how that rolls here. And they're basically like the NSA and the CIA and the state police. Well, no, not the state police. We have provincial police departments for that. Now I'm getting ramble stuff. Yeah. All rolled into one. Oh, yeah, they do like military stuff and that kind of thing too. They're the overseers. They're the ultimate police authority. You must respect their authority. Dang it. So, needless to say, when it comes to getting security clearances and stuff, that stuff can take time from them, and for whatever reason, I've never been able to find this out in past, but I do know from past times I've had to get security clearances for jobs that it takes longer here than it does in like most of the rest of the country. Anyways, all was good with that job. You know, I had the offer, signed the offer, just pending getting those clearances. I got those clearances, and the jerks went and hired someone else. I can only assume, because when I sent the clearances and asked what the next step was, I got no dang answer from the email. Yep. How respectful is that, right? Yeah. I mean, come on. And yeah, then I did a follow-up email, you know, like most people do, and got no answer from that. So, screw that. I ain't gonna chase them. I can only assume that because my security clearance took probably longer than normal, substantially longer than normal than they're used to, that they just decided they would acquire somebody else for the position. Because, you know, business is business, and businesses will act in their own best interest. So, yeah. At that point, I had also mentioned the other job I had wasn't working out, so I had quit. Needless to say, as I'm sure you can assume, I had put myself in a bit of a tight financial pickle. So I kind of had to go back to doing flooring, which is something I used to do, and not even like often. I basically did flooring way back in the day because, well, my in-laws do flooring because they're Italian. You know, kind of like Portuguese do, like, you know, mortar and brickwork and that kind of... I don't know, does it work that way in the rest of the world? It does work that way here. Okay, there's definitely like regional trades certain cultures are good at in this area, and that's kind of how it goes. A lot of Italians do flooring. I'm rambling again. And okay, ender pearls off the hot bar bacon. Put a potion there so you don't frickin', yeah, pearl into lava. So I did that, and bacon's an old duck, peeps. Last time I was doing that kind of stuff was in my 20s, so it kind of kicked the snot out of me. So part of the reason I was wasn't posting Minecraft videos is because through the week when I normally record Minecraft, as I've mentioned in the past before, I do all my like ARK stuff on the weekend because that's family bonding time with the midgets. And I do my Minecraft stuff through the week because that's my guilty pleasure. Yeah, well, no, Bacon was coming home and licking his old man wounds from doing a labor job I hadn't done in years. And, I mean, that's part of it. To be honest, there was the odd night where I came home and I had the energy, but I couldn't think up what to say. Or I'd decide, well, there's not enough time to do this project or that project, so maybe I'll just fire up a live stream tonight. So I can at least talk with you lovely peeps and do some Minecraft stuff and things. And, yeah, that didn't go... Okay, you guys are gonna go away. You're gonna get me killed. You all suck. We're just gonna lose torches, because that's how it's gonna be, dang it. Wait, what was I talking about? Yeah! I decide maybe I'll just live stream, so I can at least get something out there with the world. And I'd come home and I'd feel too tired, or... I'm not gonna say, like, depressed or anything, but just not cheerful enough to do a live stream. I'm sure some of you can understand that. And... that is because, and last time I did this, I tried to do a long-winded speech about... Well, I tried to shorten this and ended up with a long-winded speech. Yeah, that's what happened. It's the way my personality works. So, if any of you have done personality profiling in the past, any of that kind of stuff at all, you know there's kind of like two sides to the coin with personalities. And basically 4 quadrants off those sides of the coin. So, there's like side A, which is extroverted, or let's not say side, yeah, sides. Picture a cube rather than a coin. Coin's a bad analogy. Here I go again! Let's see if I can get it better this time. Yeah, it's a cube with quadrants. That's what quadrants are in, right? Yeah. So, there's one side of the cube has the extroverted personality. And the extroverted personality basically has 2 extremes. You got your social butterflies that are comfortable and outgoing around people, confident in themselves, and, you know, they're like the life of the party, and they have pictures of themselves around the office with all their friends and with their family that shows off how awesome their life is, because for the most part they think their life is awesome. Yeah. And then you've got the other kind of extroverted personality, which is extroverted socially, you know, loves people, loves being around people, but they're also overly empathetic. They care a little bit too much about other people's feelings. We all know this type of person, right? They're the type of person where you screw up and they're in a position where they actually have to point out you screw up, and they apologize to you because you screwed up. That person. You know, the person that orders a steak at a restaurant and the steak comes totally screwed up, and instead of asking for it to be fixed, they order the salmon or the tuna or a burger or something instead because they don't want to make the waiter feel bad about the screw up. I'm still going on a long time here. Yeah, those are the 2 sides of the extrovert. Then there's the other side, which is the introverts. Now, introverts are a little easier to explain, I guess. You have 2 sides of the coin here. You have essentially your analyst, the analytical person. Now, they're introverted not because they're antisocial. They are introverted because they are so focused on the details. They're the kind of person that has to make sure they know what they're talking about before they speak. If they're not 100% confident on what they say, they're the silent person in the room, thinking about what they're talking about, or what the room is talking about, and thinking about what they have to put out there before they put it out there. And then the other side of the coin, the other side of that half of the cube is these guys are the CEOs of the world, which is why they're usually in a personality profile called a director. And they're introverted, not in the sense that they're not social. So they're not usually the quiet person in the room, quite the opposite. They're usually a loud person in the room, but that's because they're very action oriented. So they're the kind of person, politicians, a great example, where they could talk about their family for an hour with you, and like half an hour or whatever after you walk away from the conversation, after you've had some space away from them, you realize that they were talking a lot, but they didn't actually share anything at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're the politician. Now, the reason they're the CEOs and the politicians of the world is because they're take charge kind of people, right? They see what needs to be done, they just get out there and they put their 2 cents in and they get it done. So normally with mixes, because nobody's one or the other, I'm getting back to like the whole why putting videos out was hard for me. Oh, the music came in finally. Normally with mixes, you'll get like the actual CEOs of the world, for example, are directors, but their other side of the coin is the social butterfly. So they're very good at working people, and they're just outgoing on both sides of the coin. Or you'll get the over empathetic social person is very, very often mixed with the social or the analytic. So they're very sensitive to other people's feelings and needs and desires, but in the same sense, they also analyze, so they're a little bit more quiet before they speak up. Or they're very, very sensitive, but they're also very, very social. So they're always out at the parties, but they're never the life of the party because they're too worried about being the total sense of attention and hurting someone's feelings in the process kind of thing. A rare mix, and this is me, guys, a very rare mix, is the social guy, the social butterfly, who is also an analytic. So someone that loves to be outgoing and be out there with people and isn't afraid to put themselves out there in the world, but also has to look at data and have all the answers before they speak. And not only am I an odd duck that I'm both, but I'm also almost a perfectly even split. Now, I have done thousands, maybe, I don't know, more than I can count of these personality profiles, not only on myself, but of other people. So I can tell you, not only is that combination kind of odd and unusual, but it's also an extremely rare mix. Yes, I'm the odd duck. Now it gets even odder. My family, for the most part, are the outgoing socialites that are also overly empathetic. They're that mix. So they have a tendency to want to try and solve everybody's problems. So when you combine that with the fact that for me, at a young age, I was doing, well, I shouldn't say doing very well for myself, that's inaccurate. At a young age, I was self-dependent. And I lucked out as I grew that I was always, even when times were tough, pretty self-sufficient, never really had to ask for help. Yeah, I don't do ask for help. I don't do taking or receiving help. That's not bacon. And then you combine that with my family. One of them in particular, here's looking at you, sis, is so overly empathetic, but also she's got a little bit of director in her, so she's take charge. So for something like, say, if I were to have money troubles and she knows me, she knows I'm not gonna outright ask for help, she would push the help down my throat, because I wouldn't say we're a well-off family, because we're not. We're still just the average kind of get by, but comfortable get by for most of us 90% of the time. So she's the kind of like, well, I could solve it. I can spare. Here, take some money. And me, I'm like, no, I don't want your freaking money. And she's like, no, take the freaking money. Not up for discussion. And to the point where I'd be like, no, and give her husband the money back. And she would literally instruct her husband to sneak it into my coat when I'm not looking. Or, you know, call my ex-wife and get my ex-wife to push it into my account when I'm not looking. Kind of thing. Yeah, one of those sisters. So, basically, that was a long-winded way of me trying to say that when I have a problem I can't solve, I withdraw a little bit, guys. Partly because I have to try and figure it out on my own, and partly because past experience with me is when I have to try and figure it out on my own, I tend to have people in my life that will try and solve it for me, and I don't do well with that. So, not only have I been physically drained through the week, but even on occasions when I have had the energy to try and sit down and at least stream or record, I've sat down and I've tried, and all of a sudden had this life-sucking motivational drain where it's like I don't know what to talk about, or I feel like there's not enough time to accomplish something where I can focus on the task and not focus on what's going on in my life. And I end up sitting there staring at the screen and, you know, maybe doing random stuff in Minecraft because I can't figure out what to do to hit record or hit stream. Yeah, it's been like that for me. And I just couldn't communicate that. Well, I could communicate it, but yeah. Okay, enough with the... Feelings are hard. Okay? Yeah, enough said. So my apologies, guys. That was a long-winded. We're at 22 minutes. My apologies. I just had to, you know, do me stuck in a rut for a little while. On to the good news. I've been looking for something new for a long time, guys. You know I have a food background, and that's kind of what I specialized in. And you all know I'm a tech geek. Well, what you didn't know, without giving too much away here, is that there's been a lot of market indications in the area where I live. Not only in the area I live, but in North America especially, but also globally, that what I did in food, I'm a high-end chef, pretty big reputation kind of thing, and my later years was leveraging that reputation to do sales, consulting, basically work as a product specialist for big companies, helping promote their products and partner with other high-profile chefs and that kind of thing. Well, yeah. Needless to say, the food industry is, for the bulk of the world, high profile isn't a thing anymore, okay? And real food isn't even a thing anymore. It's glorified McDonald's. So while that role was there, still for me to do, I don't want to be the guy convincing chefs to buy pre-made sauces in a pack, because that's what's actually in their best interest for the business. Because quite frankly, that just cuts into my soul. Okay? I want to be the guy helping another high-end guy figure out how to do something new and trendy or exciting, or figuring out new ways to use old products. So I've been looking to get into tech for a long time, guys. The security clearances that I was looking at, that's what that was about. Now, you guys know I'm kind of a tech enthusiast, but what you didn't know is I have done a little bit of tech in past. It kind of started back in high school, doing network installations. Very different from nowadays. I got into playing with tech for those of you that do tech and no tech and no IT, my first experiences playing around with tech are back in the 286 days. Yeah, yep, I'm dating myself, and it's bad. Yeah, going back that far. For those of you that don't know 286, it's because it's an Intel processor and it's very old. Don't look it up. Shut up. Just forget about it. I've been playing with tech for a long time, is the point. Okay? Yeah. So eventually in high school, I had a friend whose dad's friend did network installations and that kind of thing. And I was into food back then. Food's kind of a family affair. So I was into food back then, but I was also a tech geek because, I had grown up in a house where nobody had computers back in that day, but I had a dad that brought his old hardware home from work when he bought new hardware for work. So I got to take computers apart back when nobody had them and play with them, which was cool. Yeah, it was. Did you know Boy Scouts had a badge for that stuff way back in the day? I did, because I was one of the first guys to get it. God, I'm a dork. So anyways, rambling again. I got into doing some network stuff through, friend of friend's dad kind of thing in high school. And when I hit college, my second round through college, not my first round, university for those countries that differentiate the two, which this one is one of, but I know the bulk of you are American. You just tend to say college for everything, even though there's a difference. So yeah, second round through college, because my first round through college, there was no market left. But I did like networking. Small businesses were just starting to get into setting up websites for themselves, yet setting up a website was hugely complicated back then. Home networks were just starting to become a thing. There was no Wi-Fi back then, peeps. Yeah, no Wi-Fi, no smartphones. Cell phones were basically unheard of. Can I pick those up today, please? Yeah. God, I feel old. But I got into that kind of stuff. For those that could afford it, setting up wired networks in their homes or small offices, doing websites, because the knowledge was pretty rare and there wasn't exactly a lot of small startups at that point. Oh no, I'm saying again. I swore I wasn't going to do that this time. Thinking is hard. So yeah, that was kind of like hobby turned actual work stuff and things back then. Yeah. So it's always kind of been a semi-professional hobby of mine. And naturally, I wanted to get into it in food. When I decided food was that was the end of food and I needed to make a career change. However, and like I said, I've been trying this for years. Being as most of my stuff is self-taught, or the education I did receive in school, quite frankly, is outdated. I have inventory splice. We all see the block is not going in my is this a bug? That's a bug. I moved away and it went that's a bug. Okay. Crap, I forgot to bring ladders down. And my thing's up there. Ugh! It's a thing. Okay, we're gonna have to put a block down. And nope. Nope. Dang it, they changed that. You can't jump onto ladders now. So yeah, because of that, I got the overqualified, underqualified. Stop me if you've heard this or if you've been there before. You can't stop me because this isn't live. I'm recording. Haha, you have to listen to me talk. Sorry. Where'd that come from? Yeah. I pretty much, why am I grabbing that box? Always received the either you're underqualified because you're lacking this certification or that certification, or This really requires somebody with a computer engineering or computer sciences degree, that kind of stuff. I'm forgetting which box I had ladders in. Yes, redstone. Where else would I put it? Because ladders are a redstone device, right? In my train of thought, apparently they are. I'm weird. Yeah. I'm just going to come out and say a weirdo. Yep, it's a thing. And I didn't even put the blocks away. Yep. So I got that end of the coin, and then I got the other end of the coin is on the people skills side of things. The tech based stuff that I could apply for, that my tech certifications and historical stuff applied directly and didn't make me overqualified, etc. So was adequate. Also required customer service, people skills, that kind of thing. And my resume makes me overqualified. So then you get the HR people that look at it and go, well, we're not going to hire this guy. He's going to leave. It's going to get a salary offer that's much higher than this. And so I haven't had any success. And there has been companies that have been trying to get into for years. And you know how it goes. You're like, well, I'd love to work for that company. And you keep sending resumes even though you've written it off. Because it's the 4 millionth time you sent a resume. So I was getting desperate, peeps. I was getting desperate, especially after the last one shot me down. It wasn't tech related, guys. That was just sales related, commission based sales. All of a sudden, I got a call. Yep, got a call. It's a thing. I'm in tech. Yeah, I got a call. 3 days of interviews, phone conferences, tests, web conferences, and then boom, booked to meet the actual decision maker. It was amazeballs. So I started last week, and it's really cool. I'm itching to tell somebody all about what I'm working on, and I can't. Yeah. Because it's cutting edge stuff, which is why I'm so excited, but also why I can't share squat. Because a good chunk of it's proprietary information because it's cutting edge. And the other is market information that they don't want out in the open yet, because I'm sure certain companies are trying to figure out what their next move is. So basically, I got to sign one of those non-disclosure agreement that says, talk about anything outside of the office and we sue your face off. Yeah, one of those. Actually, it's so tight that pretty much nobody in the office even has internet access. There's no cell phones allowed, And those of us that do have internet access, because we're doing some complicated tech support that might require us looking up other stuff, it's 24/7 monitor stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not that that's unusual with big enterprise. Any of you that work for them any amount of time would know that actually, if you work for a blue chip company, they are monitoring everything you do on the web. The web, whether they advertise it or not, it's happening. Okay. So not that that's a big deal, but yeah. Anyways, enough about the awesome, exciting, cool job. The big thing is, I feel pretty confident this is going to be a thing, and I'm going to stop stressing out about what's going on there, and most of you would know this was bugging me in past already. So there's the good news that I said I might be talking about soon. It's out there. I said again, dang it. One of the driving forces for me pushing into tech is because I happen to live somewhere where the market has shifted to Not only because, like, I'm a tech junkie, and I think we all know that already. I love me my silicon. And game. I keep saying stop it! Oh, excuse me, guys. Hang on a sec. I just made my throat sore doing that. Water's good. It's also because where I happen to live, most of the old industries are dead. Like, flat out dead. It's kind of like, hey, you live here? Oh, well, guess what? You've got 3 options. Tech, insurance and investments and banking. I roll all 3 into one because, well, if any of you work in the industry, you know they are. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Or you got another option. You could work at like a Walmart or a Target, or there are no Targets here. Or is there? I don't even know anymore. There was, and then there wasn't, and I don't know. I don't shop in Targets, even when they were here, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, those are kind of like your options where I live, basically. So that was also a huge driving factor for me wanting tech. Finally, I got it. I'm still going on about my job. You can tell I want to talk about it, right? Anyways, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So sorry I couldn't talk, guys. Bacon wasn't in a happy place. It was difficult for me. We've already kind of pointed that out. I'm just summarizing it again. But life is warm, and I was actually worried about even making this video. I wanted to do it last week, but to be honest, I was scared of jinxing myself. Because this is uber cool, and I'm like actually... my brain's being challenged at work again, and my skills are being challenged at work again, and that gets me excited. That's the analytic side of me. I like a challenge. I'm very vocal when I have all the answers, and will just proceed to, even though it's not really part of my personality, I will proceed to quote-unquote director mode, where it's just like, okay, let's get her done and move on to the next thing. But that doesn't excite me. It bores me to death having all the answers and just the solution being easy. That could affect water streams and farms. We're gonna have to investigate that. I don't remember that in 12. I upgraded to .2, and that seems new to me. I'm gonna have to check that out for us. Yeah. Well, I wanted the ore. This really gets me going though. Like that kind of stuff in the troubleshooting department, in my personality, in the analytic side of my personality, is a big driver for me. It gets me excited to not have the answers, to have to roll up my sleeves and try and figure it out. Makes me warm and fuzzy inside. So that also, guys, means I come home with lots of energy, which is good for you because that means I fire up Minecraft in the computer and get back into recording again because I don't feel too frustrated or lost to do stuff, and I also feel excited and energized, which makes me want to run home and do stuff. So we're gonna come back, guys. And I'm almost at 40 minutes already. We're coming back, guys. I hope I'm not jinxing myself. Good God. It's going well, so I have no reason to believe it will take a turn for the worse. So I have every reason to believe that we'll be back in the swing here, peeps. Now, because the product is cutting edge, and because I'm working in tech support specifically, that means it's growing, as those of you in IT would know. It's also growing fast, and those of you that do IT in any type of support capacity would also know that it's a 24/7 gig, baby. Yeah. So I kind of have some predictions of what's going to happen in the next few months, but they're predictions. And at the stage we're at right now, the predictions could be accurate, or they could be way underestimating the growth. And there's also a couple little bits of information I have that strongly suggest it could be a way underestimate. So any type of schedule I could think I have at the moment, any projection of any schedule is unrealistic at best. Yeah. I could be working during the day one week, during the weekend the next week. I could be getting called in to do weekend stuff last minute. I just don't know. Oh, excuse me, guys. I didn't reach the water on time, and I don't want to cut at this point in time. So the reason I mention that is because that means giving you any kind of solid schedule for me. Like, my last couple efforts were failed, and right now I know those efforts would be flat out failed if I tried it again. Like, flat out failed, guys. I'm doing this way, by the way, because I feel we're going to need the obsidian very soon, moving forward. Yeah, I think it would be a very foolish move of me to commit to a schedule right now, realistically speaking. Because of that, I have it within good judgment that not only good judgment but good information at work that in the very short future I will actually be moving up in the company, and the role which I will be moving into, there are a limited number of people in, which would happen to mean that should somebody call in sick, I might have to go in. Should somebody not be able to cover a weekend because of extenuating circumstances, etc., etc. So what I think is the safe bet moving forward is to say that we're going to go back to Bacon's World. And I think we're going to see Bacon's World be like a later in the week ETA, but I don't even want to give a day right now. Just approaching the weekend to on the weekend, I want to pump a video out, and Ark will continue and hasn't stopped because that's a weekend thing with my son, right? And even if my son's off doing other stuff, I end up playing Ark anyways because that time's allocated to stuff with him. And you know, for those of you that have kids, that sometimes you having that time off isn't, well, most often you having that time off isn't actually scheduled. It's, you find out last minute, especially when they're teenagers. Yeah. So that Ark will continue to be an early week video. Bacon's World will be like late in the week to weekend type video. And what I want to do in between is stream, guys. Stream. I mentioned before we're pushing this, there's all the things going on with YouTube right now. We'll talk about it in a stream or maybe in a video. Probably a stream. Not all of you want the long-winded explanation. The short and the skinny is YouTube has made it very clear recently, and it's been going on all year, but in the last couple months they have made it very, very clear that gaming videos is not their focus. I'm not saying they don't want to see them. I'm saying they're not actively supporting edited, uploaded gaming videos. They have basically, in the last month or so, made it very clear that what they are actively encouraging and supporting on YouTube with video gaming is live streaming on YouTube gaming. Basically, good luck having YouTube push your videos if you're a gaming channel, because their algorithm has determined it may not be suitable for advertisers. And if it's not suitable for advertisers, guess what that means? It's not showing up in recommended videos. And sometimes it's not even showing up in your sub boxes. So push to streaming. Streaming is the future, which is one of the reasons we're moving in that direction, along with many others, as I'm sure you've seen. Now, we are doing that not on YouTube because Mixer. Those that haven't caught the Mixer streams, I've talked to Mixer about a new vanilla series, and the new vanilla series, guys, is going to be a live stream series on Mixer, like all other YouTube, or like all other, live streams. It will get uploaded to YouTube. As soon as I'm done the live stream, I will start the upload. However, the reason it's a Mixer exclusive is because exclusive to Mixer, I'm gonna make a vanilla world that's interactive. Talk much. You can't do this on YouTube. You can't do this on Twitch the way you can do it on Mixer. Basically, our next vanilla series, guys, is going to be on Mixer because you will have the ability to go into my world and do stuff like cut a hole in the ground and replace every block with air right down to the void, or spawn a creeper that drops on my head, or turn an area I'm mining into bedrock. And to kick things up a notch and make this extra entertaining, I've already got the seed picked out, and let me just say my starting conditions are not what I would call favorable. It's a hard seed. And to make it even more entertaining, it's going to be a hardcore world. So I get one death and I have to start from scratch. That's it. I'm going to allow myself regen because, well, I think I'm giving you guys enough ways to be mean to me already, quite frankly. Yeah, that's the thing. So I will allow myself regen, but it's going to be a hardcore world. I get one life. And if I die, I have to spawn at spawn and start all over. I at least get the benefit of the knowledge of how far I have gone in the world before one of you jerks killed me. And one more life. And that's it. It's almost an exercise in futility, but I think it'll be entertaining. Now, on the flip side, on Mixer, I'm also going to give you guys the ability to help a brother out here. So while some of you are trying to kill me, I'm hoping, praying, some of you actually might be trying to help me out by, you know, maybe spawning some stone where the other jerk butt just cut a hole down to the void right underneath me, that kind of thing. Yeah. So that's why Mixer, because when it goes up on YouTube, it will be a replay of that live interactivity. I can't do that live interactivity on YouTube or on Twitch. It's currently not possible. Mixer's API is unique that we can do this. So that's the next vanilla world, guys. Bacon's World will continue, and we'll still live stream that as well. But the next big vanilla world is going to be me letting you guys torture me in a hardcore world on Mixer. We'll try and keep the stream shorter so there's still half-decent YouTube episodes. But yeah, it is what it is. If we're having a lot of fun and it goes 3 hours, it's going to go 3 hours. And rather than waste all your times Well, I don't know. I might cut it into 3 1 hours. Who knows? We'll see. We'll play with it. It's uncharted territory. I'm excited about doing that. I hope that announcement is exciting for you that didn't know already and didn't hear it in a stream. And in addition, over the next little while, we're going to get into snapshot videos. I think we're getting into new snapshots this week. So I'll put one out if we are. No confirmation for sure, but Dinnerbone did say we should be. And tutorials will roll back up. I don't know how soon that's going to happen. Eventually, playing Minecraft maps will roll back into it. I'm not sure when that's going to happen either, because the holidays is coming up and the predictions at work are I'm about to get insanely busy. So I'm not going to overpromise and underdeliver here. I'm just going to say I want to bring all that stuff back. Work looks like it's comfortable, so I can start to focus on that stuff again and not beat myself up about my current life situation. Yeah. So look forward to all that, guys, and I will continue to update you, and hopefully we're kicking back into the streams in the very short future, like maybe even as soon as you see this video or shortly after you see it. It'll be a thing. And now that I've killed those guys, I do really want to say to all of you that have stuck with me through all this and stayed active on the channel even when there was no Minecraft stuff coming up, when that's all you watch for, and I know that's all you watch for. Thank you for your patience and your support. Thank all of you who have given me kind words when things were rough. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And I'm sorry that I kind of went radio silent for a while. Let's get back at her, shall we? Thanks for watching, guys, and thank you for your support. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye!